Thank you, Dr. Anirban Gangulyji, for inviting us for this discussion held by Dr. Shyam Prasad Mukherjee's Research Foundation. I think there are lots of distinguished guests here. I think all the speakers who spoke today gave very detailed insight, and also I think they made a lasting impression on the audience here today. I would wonder if I can quickly recall some of the great remarks made by several people here. I think Shri Janata spoke on developments and the leadership of China, and how the psychology of the leadership of China is working on the leaders, and also how other countries are dealing with China today. And there are several things. I think I don't think I can even conclude or even summarize these amazing facts and insight I think the leaders thrown to the table today. And Shri Claudia RP also spoke very well with a lot of details. And Shri Vijay Kanti also mentioned very details, and especially after seeing this presentation, I think it was, in my view, it was like almost like a shocking, and how aspiring China is, and how the strategic movements are happening and taking place, and why the India should take adequate measures, not necessarily for the combat purpose, at least in defense. I would think there are a lot of things needs to be done from India side. One, actually, when I was in the United States, I think several people worked under me and with me and above me, from China, India, and United States, of course. What I noticed is the cultural and emotional differences between us, and also some similarities, of course. We should take the things on both military and also on diplomacy. And I think we are not doing much in both of them today. And I think today, I think mankind has developed, and we should figure out how do we work together and survive and cooperate and develop in a much better way than from the Stone Age. I think arms race should be the last option for any country, because it consumes resources, it takes away your ability to do other works, and it's costly. I think we should also engage with China on not only the answer to the military, of course we need to do, but we should also focus on diplomacy, compassion, cooperation, and discussion, negotiation, and exchange programs. We are doing it today, but it is at a surface level. It is not truly in a deeper sense. And most of the time, all these conflicts are simply lack of intelligence and wisdom. We should also work on these things more seriously. It may look like oh, we are not focusing more on military side, but we should not look at the conflict as the only answer for all the problems. Of course, there are always going to be threats, always going to be aspirations from other countries, but we should try to explore all avenues to nullify or eliminate such threats more intelligently. I think, as Arthur C. Clarke once said, I think intelligence yet to prove its significance in the mankind's survival. So we are not sure whether intelligence is the only way to survive. Who knows? That may be the only way to extinguish the mankind. Well, having said that, once upon a time, in India and the Indian region was very strong, and it made a significant contribution to the mankind. And several things came from that region and that era. For example, in India was an inventor of several things. For example, it could be a button, or it could be mathematical contributions such as zero, and hospitals, surgery, chess, plastic surgery, shampoo, and several things that actually originated from India. And of course, there are some more items. But what I noticed is many of these things happened probably thousands of years back. But what happened after that? Where did we lose that game? How did nearly 120 crores of people now ended up in such a helpless situation? Is it not something I think the parliament should take seriously? Is it not something the media should take seriously? Is it not something the learned class should take seriously? I think so far our success has been analyzing the problem or outlining what is wrong and where we are wrong, not necessarily taking the corrective measures to improve on the situation. I think the policies and politics must change in this country. Today, in an average, in the population, average person is completely dissatisfied with the politics and the politicians and the overall governance, administration. These things I think should be taken very seriously. I think everybody is a partner in this. Not only the politicians, administration is a partner for this failure, and administration and the media is also a partner for this failure, and also the general public. We don't see the bigger picture. We're not coming together in the bigger picture. We think we'll just get away by focusing on the upcoming election. I think that's going to cost us big in the coming future, including, for example, I visited GTRE some time back. I asked them what are they doing. They are trying to develop an aircraft engine almost from 30 years. And with several thousands of crores already have been spent on that. And I asked them, what is the challenge? In a simple words, they said, they don't know the material that is being used to make the aircraft engines blade. From 30 years. Why are we failing like this collectively? What are the institutions doing? Are we funding them adequately? Are we enabling them to produce world-class results? Where is the innovation in this country? Why are we like this? I'm sorry? And even if you look at the agriculture, we are nearly 140 years behind the other countries. I can show you that. There are times when people harvested cotton by means of automatic cotton harvesting machines. They lived 130, 140 years back in other countries. We are still yet to do that. There are many people even stopped cultivating cotton because we are not even getting laborers today. And the energy dependence. I think this is shocking. And we are on the equatorial line. We get abundant sunlight compared to many other countries, including China, Canada, Russia, the European countries. And many of them are not in the equatorial line. They don't get enough radiation like us. But today, we are not even bothered to exploit such opportunities. We are still heavily building on uranium options and trying to still stick on to the coal-based solutions. What is your energy solution for another 30 years or 50 years? Nobody has an answer. And the only option is now going for nuclear, for which we have just less than 1% of the fuel in this country. So we are basically essentially letting somebody else to take over our energy future. I think this country should take these things very seriously. I really spoke on this in the parliament. I'm not sure how much media noticed, I'm not sure how much even parliamentarians noticed. They thought it's a Greek and Latin, and there's a next question. And on the education side, if you look at seriously, why any of these inventions in this room, if you look at them, any of them, including this microphone, laptop, and a keyboard and the processor inside that, including the camera and the amplifier and the speaker and the projector and your cell phone, your car, bike, space shuttle, anything you imagine, it came from someone who is not Indian. How come many of our Indian IITs, Institute of Science and allied engineering colleges and thousands of engineers, maybe lakhs of engineers, maybe crores of engineers and doctors and scientists, we collectively failed? And how many Nobel Prize winners are here in this country today? It's a single digit. We are all able to see there are at least a dozen or 2 dozen teaching in many of the institutions in the United States. Maybe there are more than 400 Nobel Prize winners in California. So these things must be taken very seriously if we really mean to address the issues we are highlighting here. Or else it's going to be a very pathetic situation. We need to be aggressive, we need to focus on the education, we need to focus on the innovation, we need to do less politics, and we should get on to the job, and at least we should look at this as an opportunity to wake up. I think, as our friend said, sorry for waking up, but I think he explicitly mentioned it very clearly. It is a message to the country. We should use this as an opportunity. Many of the great innovation happened during wartime, but it doesn't mean that war should be the only way to advance the mankind, including computing and the network, and many of things happened as a military exercise. Today our education plays a very important role for innovation. Innovation plays a very important role for economy. Economy plays an important role for defense and military. So if we want to have a strong military, strong defense, and a strong country, we have to have good economy. If you really want to have a good economy, you have to make sure you innovate. And if you really want to innovate, you got to have good education. And if you don't focus on education, where is the economy? Where is the military? That's the result. We are trying to figure out how to make an aircraft engine from 30 years. This is a very shocking thing. Our entire education now depends on three things, just read, remember, reproduce. Oh, why? And if you ask any engineer how much you understand, I go around and ask the engineers, and I myself being an engineer, I ask them, okay, out of 100 you scored 70, 80, 90, but tell me how much you understood. The more you let the student think, he will come back with a smaller and smaller number. It's going to be 3%, 2%, 1%. So that means if he understood less than 5% or 10%, it only means he did not understand the 90% remaining. So what can we expect from an engineer or a doctor or anyone in the profession to that field or to advance that field if he has a gap of nearly about 90%? So these things must be addressed very seriously if we really want to have a stronger country. Today I think I focus more on what needs to be done, and I should thank from bottom of my heart for throwing much better light into the reality and the situation, and all the speakers did an excellent job. I think it was worth for me to come down here, and I think all of you have something to take away. But we should also come together again to see how to converse towards a solution. Because we discuss, we leave at that point. What is the conclusion? Where do we go from here? Who should be held responsible? How do we make them responsible? How do we deliver? And also people of this country need to do much better job in the polls. Most of the time, it doesn't matter what is your credibility, what you can really do. It all depends on whom you are born, whom you know, and how much money you can spend. I don't think we can build a stronger country with that. And let's use this as an opportunity to change some of these age-old mechanism of ruling, and let's come out with the better solutions. I must thank all the organizers, and especially Dr. Anil Balji, for giving me an opportunity to share a couple of words with you. I would do my best in my limited capacity to bring it up in the parliament. I was also dissatisfied with the way politicians are looked at, and even today when I go to the parliament along with many senior MPs, there is one gate for MPs and there is a side gate for PAs. So when I go with them, many of them interpret me as a PA, and they tell me, hey PAs, please come down other door, right? So this is a tradition. So traditionally we all thought politicians should be like this. I think we should look at some of the examples they showed today in the presentation. and also look at the developments that are taking place in the United States and Singapore and many other countries from whom you can learn a lot. Not all of them, but at least there are good points to pick up and take it from here. Thank you so much and have a great night, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Swamy, for that.